Confirmed. The wing defense just got an upgrade. 2 roster moves in barely a day. A two-way deal locked in after a summer league breakout. And insiders now say the Kings' decision may finally be close. All signs pointing toward one hometown reunion. This could be the week that reshapes 2 franchises at once. Welcome back to the channel, your home for the latest Lakers news, trade rumors, free agency updates, and breaking developments. Before we get into it, tell us in the comments, are you more excited about the new signings or still waiting on LeBron's next move? Let's get into it. The biggest storyline hanging over the Lakers this offseason isn't even about a Laker anymore. It's about where LeBron James plays next. After James confirmed his exit from Los Angeles, the free agent market for a 41-year-old former MVP turned into one of the strangest sweepstakes in recent memory. Several teams have been floated as suitors, but multiple respected NBA reporters have converged on the same conclusion over the past few weeks. This is trending toward a homecoming in Cleveland. According to reporting from around the league, the sentiment among rival executives and insiders is that James is genuinely leaning toward reuniting with the franchise where he became a legend in the first place. That's not a confirmed deal, nothing is signed, but the signal has grown stronger with each passing week. The mechanics matter here. Cleveland isn't flush with cap space, and any pathway for James likely runs through a sign-and-trade or careful cap maneuvering involving veterans already on the roster. The Cavaliers would need to create enough breathing room below their tax thresholds, which could mean moving money elsewhere on a roster just to make a lower-cost deal work. Why would James take a discount to go home? The pitch practically writes itself. A franchise with a genuine title. Window, a roster already built around stars. And the emotional pull of finishing his career close to where it started. That's not something a max contract from a rebuilding team can offer. The obstacle is real, though. Multiple other teams have reportedly pushed hard for James as well, and continued uncertainty around exactly how Cleveland structures its cap sheet could still complicate things. Nothing here is official, and fans should treat every one of these reports as smoke until there's an actual signature on a contract. Still, the momentum is undeniable. The question now isn't really if teams are circling. It's whether Cleveland can clear enough room to make the fairy tale ending happen. Meanwhile, another development could affect the roster on the other coast. While all eyes were on LeBron's free agent decision, the current Lakers roster quietly got busier. The team has been rebuilding its identity around Luka Doncic and Austin Reeves this offseason. And one persistent question has been who fills out the defense around them. That question got an answer this week. The Lakers reached agreement on a 1-year, veteran minimum deal with a 2-time all-defensive wing, bringing in a proven point-of-attack defender to bolster a perimeter group that's been much stronger offensively than defensively. The move pushed the roster to 16 guaranteed contracts, meaning a corresponding move, a trade, or a waiver, is now expected before the regular season begins. From a fit perspective, the logic is straightforward. Los Angeles has invested heavily in offensive playmaking at guard, and pairing a lockdown perimeter defender alongside their new starting center gives the Lakers 2 legitimate defensive anchors for the first time in years. Barely a day later, a second move followed. The Lakers locked in a 2-way contract for a forward who spent the past season developing in the team's G League program and then exploded during summer league play in Las Vegas, turning heads with efficient scoring and elite shooting splits. That signing forced a corresponding roster crunch of its own, with the team waiving one of its existing 2-way players to clear the spot. The obstacle for both moves is the same, a crowded roster. With 2 new additions in less than 24 hours, the front office now has to decide who gets squeezed out before opening night, a decision that will say a lot about which young players the coaching staff actually trusts. That's not the only major decision facing the front office, either. Away from the wing rotation, the front court overhaul from earlier this summer is still shaping how the roster comes together. Before either of the last 2 signings, the Lakers had already reshaped their front court entirely. The team's sign-and-trade acquisition of a starting-caliber shot-blocking center earlier this offseason was the headline move of the summer, and it changed the calculus for everything that followed. Every subsequent minimum salary addition, including a veteran rebounder who joined a couple weeks back, has been built around complementing that new front court anchor rather than competing with him for minutes. The The logic here is about balance. Los Angeles wanted rim protection and rebounding after seeing its interior defense exposed the previous season, and adding size on modest contracts let the front office keep spending flexibility intact for further moves. The risk is real, though. Stacking minimum deals around one significant investment at center means depth, but it also means the margin for error on the wings has to be tighter. If the new perimeter defenders can't stay healthy, the court investment loses some of its value. The bigger question is whether the front office is done adding pieces or whether there's still a bigger swing left to make before training camp opens up. Here's where it gets interesting for fans on both coasts. If LeBron James really does sign with Cleveland, the Cavaliers get a legend returning home to a team that's already built to win now. But they'll likely have to sacrifice depth and cap flexibility to make the math work. Meanwhile, the Lakers have spent this offseason quietly building a deeper, more defense-oriented roster around Doncic and Reeves, betting that a collection of complementary role players beats chasing another aging superstar. Which approach do you trust more heading into next season? Cleveland's win-now gamble on a homecoming legend, or the Lakers' quieter defensive retool around their new core? Pick one in the comments and defend it. That's it for today's update. Which move matters more for the rest of the league? The Lakers' back-to-back signings, or LeBron's looming decision on Cleveland? Let us know below. Subscribe and turn on notifications for more breaking news, rumors, and analysis. See you in the next video.